Hello guys, welcome back to the Fellow. And today I'm going to do a live stream about some things I have in my mind. And oh, I think I got it sideways here. Give me a second here. Let's get this correct. All right, so I've been going through a lot of my past videos and editing them and trying to do better with them. And I may start to do more thumbnails with that. And I think that's a good idea. So that way I can get some more traffic, see if I can get any other videos to pick up. But I will say this, thank you guys for all the new subscribers that I've gotten. I mean, the last week or so, actually last month or so, I think I've got over 10 or 15, and that's a massive to me. So thank you guys very much for the recent subscribers I have on my channel. I really appreciate it. Sometimes I'm able to post these earlier, like in a short, to say, hey, I'm going to go live at such and such time. I don't have 500 subscribers yet, or else I put it in the content tab. One day, whenever I do get 500 subscribers, I'll be able to put it in the content tab, and that'll be a lot easier for you guys to find it instead of me having to do it on a short or just go when I have the time to do so. So right now, I am going to remake the channel trailer. I'm going to do that probably after this live stream, more likely than not. I haven't decided yet because I need to write a script for it. And that's something that I really do need to consider because I think the channel trailer originally that I had made, it works, but I need to make it better, and I had the opportunity to do so, so I'm going to do that. And as I mentioned before, the direction of this channel, where we're going to go with it, I'm going to be doing some more interviews. I haven't got anyone on the line yet because I've been really busy lately, like extremely busy. Probably for this month, I probably won't have anybody because I'm just so busy right now, unfortunately. But I am trying to make time. So for the videos and the live streams and the editing, and then because right now what I'm doing is I'm going back and editing every single video that I have. And then I'm trying to go back and look at the thumbnails and make better thumbnails for them. So that way I get the practice of thumbnail making and I get the practice of editing videos because I can do that now. So I'm going to dump time into doing that. That way I get better and better and better as time goes on. And hopefully that pays dividends as far as you guys and what you guys enjoy my content. Anyway, so today I had something real interesting when I was working, and it made me think a lot about what's going on, and it made me think about a vision, right? So I was doing research about McDonald's and the vision that Kroc had, you know, where the McDonald's brothers, they kind of like were localized and they didn't really have a vision for the company. That was just their whole dream. It was just that they didn't have an actual vision for what they wanted to do and what it could be. And it took someone to have a vision. And that's why when I mentioned earlier about doing my channel and doing the trailer differently, is I'm thinking in my head is like, what is the vision for my channel? I want to make it different than what I have right now to a certain degree. So that's where I'm going to go with it. I've been active on Instagram a lot more lately, and a lot of you guys have been taking my advice and going to me on Instagram because I am active on there much more than I'm on YouTube. And I really do appreciate that. That's something that I will keep doing because I'm more active on there than I am on YouTube. And it's much easier for me to interact with my I guess fans than fan subscribers on there than it would be for me to do it anywhere else. It's just much easier for me. And I have been doing research on some topics and things that I'd like to do in the future, which I'm going to get into. And I will start making videos on those and making thumbnails for them and posting them up. I'm looking at changing the schedule, maybe doing one video a week and one live stream a week instead of doing two videos. I don't know if two videos is going to serve me as much as it used to. It might. I don't know. It hasn't really done anything for me because a lot of the times I put out videos and it's very difficult for me to uh, put the time in now and edit and do all that kind of stuff for those videos. So it's extremely interesting to me as far as what I should and shouldn't do. So right now I'm going to keep it either two videos and then a live stream when I can, or one video and a live stream. And like I said, whenever I get a content page, when I reach the 500 subscriber mark, I will be able and eligible to go and put a poll up, and that way you guys can vote and I can do a time. I can look in the analytics too, and it tells me Saturday. So Saturday is the most popular time people are on my channel. So more likely than not, I'd be able to do a live stream on Saturday, and it's easier for you guys to find me on there, which is great, and I really would appreciate that. So that's something I have been looking into, is changing the format and changing the days that I do my YouTube channels, because originally when I did my Tuesdays and Friday videos is because the traffic that I had at that time, they were on during that time, and now it has changed drastically. So that's something that I'm definitely looking into changing. And honestly, oh, thank you, whoever liked it. I appreciate that. I have done a lot of consideration about this as well, and I've talked about this in the past. So I did an interview with my best friend, and we did it in English. And more likely than not, him and I are looking at doing a version in Spanish. And it may not be the only interview that I do in Spanish. So for those of you that speak English, I don't know. I haven't tried to generate or auto-generate any kind of language on here. I don't know if you can do it or not. So I'm looking at maybe doing some interviews in Spanish and in English, both, uh, for those that are bilingual, and some maybe just Spanish. So that's something that I'm looking forward to doing as well. And those will be a part of what I have as well, because I do have, actually, the majority of my friends are immigrants to this country, or they are sons or daughters of immigrants to this country. So it's very interesting, and I would like their perspective on that and what they think and what they don't, and see how that goes, basically. Someone asked me the other day about my wife coming on here. The chances of that are 0%. My wife does not want to be in front of the camera. She doesn't want to talk to anybody. She doesn't want to interact with anybody. She just likes to do her own thing, and that's what she wants to do, and she does it because she enjoys it, and that's it. There's no other way of convincing her, and nor do I want to, because that's what she wants to do. That's what she wants to do, and I don't blame her. So that's fine. That's perfectly okay. I have posted a couple of videos that I want to address. So the Mirkvist opera pumps as well. So this is something else I'm going to go off on. Is I really do like those opera pumps. They're extremely beautiful. I have posted a couple of pictures with them. I have worn them a couple times, or more than a couple times, and they're just beautiful, and I really do enjoy them. Someone had asked me to make the video, so that's something else I'd recommend. If you're one of my subscribers, leave a comment, DM me on Instagram, and talk to me. Hey man, can you do a review on this? What do you think about that? Do you want to get an update on this? That's why I make the videos. I make the videos for you guys, not for myself. Some videos I do make for myself, because I think if it were me, this is what I want to know. They don't get a lot of views, and that's perfectly fine, because you're supposed to do it for people watching the videos, not for yourself. And that makes sense, but sometimes I think, there are those that think like me, so maybe it would be better if I did make videos like that. Something else I could do is, I've made a series before. I've made a programming video about me when I first started in IT, about programming and software engineering. And I'm thinking about changing that and updating that, maybe posting that as like part of a job series that I want to do. I have lots of ideas for this channel and where I want to take it to. And then I also think that it's a good idea to do that. So I'm going to continually do what I'm doing. I have a couple of stuff coming up here. So I did the hat collection. That was a lot of fun. I'm looking at getting the hat of Cain Escobar. So I'm not sure about that, but I've thought about it. And because I've thought about it and considered it, it's really hard for me not to want to get it. But I may do it next year, but I'm not sure, because we're already in the summer now. The hats that I have, I really enjoy them, and that's basically what it's going to be as of right now. And on Instagram, I seen you picking up a lot more traffic as well, so it seems like the stars are aligning. So thank you guys, back and forth as far as that goes. Is, hey, Instagram and then YouTube, because I've been trying to intertwine the two of them, because I'm, like I said, generally more active on Instagram than I am on here. But I put all my videos on here. I don't put them on Instagram because I just don't want to. And I don't find it beneficial to me at all. I mean, I haven't tried it or anything, but it's just a totally different platform, and I'd have to do a lot of research and revamping of my stuff in order to put it on Instagram, and that I just not willing to put the time and effort to, nor do I have the time and effort right now to do so. So that's definitely something that I want to keep in mind. And yeah, So upcoming events here. So here locally, I am looking at going to Limitless Bespoke. It's on Sunday. It's an event they're having June 16th, I think from 12 to 4. It's at the Pearl. They're doing a grand opening. I may make a stop there. I'm not sure. That's something that I have considered, going over there and introducing myself and getting contacts with them. I had another style image consultant reach out to me here locally on Instagram and asked me to basically be an image consultant for me. And it's a nice gesture, but honestly, like I said before, I just don't have the time. So I told him, thank you for the compliment, but I don't have the time. And that's how that went. So, and if I understand, he's a person for Tom James. Tom James is like one of the original made to measure from the United States, and they do make beautiful clothing. So it's something I thought about doing as well. All right, so we're going to do a couple of videos here about guayaberas. So I notice this a lot in the United States. Many guys, at least where I'm at, don't wear them, and I don't understand that. When I'm in Mexico or I'm in like Florida, in the bottom of Florida, you see guys wearing these shirts a lot, the guayaberas. They're very, very comfortable. They usually are made of linen or a tropical cotton weave. They're extremely easy to use. You can wear them with pants. You can wear them with shorts. You can wear them with espadrilles. It is like a really easy. It's a casual look, but it looks more than casual because of the way the shirt is. It's like an in-between look. And honestly, that's what I've been doing a lot lately on my Instagram is I have been taking that idea of creating casual but elevating it and then putting on Instagram, and it's a lot of fun for me. I've been having a lot of fun doing that, and I think that's something that I really like to continue doing. I really do enjoy that a lot. So this is definitely something that I'm going to be doing more in the future about is trying to figure out more reviews because I got two or three down the line. I got Cuboera, which is I would recommend to anybody if they're looking at getting into like summer style. If you're trying to find linen pants, if you're trying to find guayaberas, if you're trying to do cotton, linen, whatever. If you just want to try the style, they have so many of them and like different varieties of styles and what you like, what you don't like. My dad used to wear guayaberas. I'm not that into them. Many guys are not that into them. Guayaberas are quite an acquired taste, to say the least. They are an acquired taste, so that's something else. A substitute could be Hawaiian shirt. So the Big Fun Shirt Company on Instagram, I've chatted with them a couple times. I'm looking at maybe getting a shirt made by them. They do everything by hand, which is the Big Fun Shirt Company. They make a lot of Hawaiian shirts, and they're beautiful. They do excellent work, and I love watching their stories and their history about that as well. That's another summertime shirt is a Hawaiian shirt, which I've done videos about Hawaiian shirts, how to look for them, especially in Goodwill, what you're looking for. So guayaberas are an acquired taste. They're not for everybody, like I said before. There are different varieties of them. Generally, they're four pockets. They have about 6 to 8 pleats here, if not more than that, and they run down. Some only have two pleats, or not two pleats, two pockets, excuse me, and they don't have the bottom two pockets. And some people generally like those more than the original version where it has four pockets on the front of it. That's something to keep in mind. And you can get bespoke ones that have like French cuffs on here, and you can get them in all kinds of different colors, all kinds of different fabrics. That basically, obviously, because it's bespoke, so you can do that. I haven't gone that option yet. I thought about going to Dos Carolinas here in San Antonio, down at the Pearl. They make custom guayaberas, but then I really thought about it and thought, well, when I go back to Merida, maybe they have a custom bespoke place that I can go and they can make me a guayabera, and I could probably get it for either about the same price or maybe a little less. So if I get a little less there in Mexico, which is why I haven't gone to Dos Carolinas yet, then what I'm going to do is get one made in Mexico instead of having to go to Dos Carolinas, which is, I think, is a good idea in my opinion. So that's definitely something that I would pay attention to in the future, where it's going to come out as guayaberas. I have Sunspell as well. So I know the Gentleman's Gazette did a video on Sunspell, but what turned me onto Sunspell originally, obviously, is because of 007, and I was finally financially stable enough to be able to purchase a shirt or a couple of shirts in them. So I'd love to do a video about my experience is wearing them every day, and not really every day, but wearing them out in the heat. And we have a historic heat here. If I understand correctly, they're based out of Minnesota, so it doesn't really get hot there. I mean, here it gets ridiculously hot. I mean, right now it's 104, or yesterday it was 104 degrees outside, which is about 41 degrees Celsius if you are someone that is not a American, just so you guys know. Um, and I would love to do a video about that and the benefits and the takeaways from that. And then I also have some Mr. Porter shorts I got from the last season, and I'm going to do a review on those because I really do like those shorts, but there is a drawback to them, unfortunately, and I'll talk about that in the video because I actually destroyed a pair of shorts, unfortunately, because of the design of them. And I really wish I had those shorts again because I really do like them. I did notice at Spear McKay, so if you notice on their website here, I got an email the other day about summer's pants, and they had linen pants, drawstring, and they're pleated, so they have a single inward pleat on them, and they're specifically made for summertime, and they would be really interesting to add to my wardrobe, but they're $100 right now, and I'm looking at that, and I'm like, I don't. That's the problem with me, and why I don't do a lot of clothing or item reviews is because I look at stuff and I'm like, do I really want to buy that? Do I really need it? Probably not. So that's why I don't buy things and do reviews on things a lot more than some other channels do because I look at it as, do I really need that? No, I don't. Do I have the funds to buy it? Probably have to save up for it. So it's going to take, so it has to be a more thoughtful, it has to be a more thoughtful purchase for me than me just dropping money on it, if that makes sense. Because I always do that. What is the cost benefit? Is it something that I actually need? Is it something that I want? Um, and then I had to think of how many months I have to save for it. It's a project manager in my head, I guess, where I start thinking about planning things out and what has to happen in order for it to come to fruition. And it's the vision, the vision in my mind. So that has a lot to do with what I'm going to be doing there. I will say this: I'm going to pick up maybe a couple colognes. So a couple of those are going to be coming down the line here. Whenever I run out of cologne, that's when I'm going to do that. So I still got about half a bottle left, and then after that, I'm going to buy some more. And they're going to be different brands, different stuff that I haven't done before. So definitely want to check those out and do a review on them, do an unboxing of them, and get a feel for the overall scent and what I think of it. And I think that's a great idea because I do love colognes. I mean, generally speaking, I generally try to find colognes that I really like, and I wear them on special occasions. I wear them when I want to, and they just give you kind of an overall pep in your step sometimes, and it really does make you feel a lot better. Hello, whoever just joined. Nice to see you. So yeah. Also, I have this chair that I'm sitting in here on Instagram. I get asked a lot about what chair is that? What chair is that? What chair is that? So I just started putting in the description. Let's see here. What's your signature scent? Hi there. Hello there, Rosa. My signature scent, I have two of them. So my signature scent is Bleu de Chanel Parfum. I love it. I love that scent. It is just beautiful to me. The other one that I really like is the Tom Ford Grey Vetiver. It's an extremely easy one to wear. If I had the budget for it, it would probably be Green Irish Tweed. I just love that smell. To me, it smells like a hayfield. It smells like when I used to work with my grandfather, and it just smells like springtime. I don't know how to explain it. Let's see. I know you love. Yeah, yes, I do. Um, I do. Bleu de Chanel is perfect. Yeah, I just because when I worked at Artist Shaving, right? So I would do wholesale. Let's see here. Love it. Yeah, I would do wholesale over here at Macy's in San Antonio, and I knew the Chanel representative. So anytime Chanel came with anything, or she had anything, or whatever, she was like, "Hey, Brian, you want to come check this out?" Hell yeah, I want to come check it out. What do you got? And I start smelling all of them. I'm like, damn, man, some of that stuff is wild. It was pretty expensive, and it was nice to be able to smell it because Chanel is not known for doing discounts. If you want a discount, you don't go to Chanel because you ain't gonna find one there. Excuse me, yeah, you're gonna find one. You just have to buy a smaller ounce bottle than than the one you originally came in that you thought you were gonna buy. Instead of the 5 ounce, you may be getting a 1.7 ounce bottle. That's the only discount you're going to find, and that's not even a discount. Just you might want to put it back a little bit there. And every time I recommend Bleu de Chanel, so I always say there's different versions of them. Obviously, the Eau de Parfum, you have the regular one, you have the Parfum. it doesn't matter which one you pick because they all have different kind of seasoning on it, I guess you could say, different kind of notes, different stuff. But whichever one smells the best, that's the one that you could wear, and it's real easy to wear. Um, I would also say the Gray Vetiver from Tom Ford. It's just like a stupid. It's like a stupid grab. Like you could just grab it, you could wear it. You don't got to think anything about it. It's not going to offend anybody. You're gonna smell fresh. You're gonna smell clean. It's just an easy grab. It's like an easy dumb fragrance that you can grab, and you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to think about it, and you're gonna smell nice. And I feel the exact same way about Blue de Chanel. Green Irish Tweed also as well. So also when I worked at Art of Shaving, I need the lady at Neiman Marcus from the Creed boutique, and the one that I did like the most, I like Roda Portugal. I think that smells really nice. And then the Royal Oud is probably my favorite actually out of all the Creeds. I do like the Royal Oud quite a bit, but it is an acquired taste in my opinion. It's not really an oud. Let's see here. I love EDP version of Blue de Chanel the most. I think it smells more classy and clean than the Sauvage, but Sauvage is more popular designer fragrance. Yeah, yeah, the Sauvage, man. Wow. You know, the first time I put Sauvage on, I was like, man, this smells this smells like a popular fragrance. Like I don't know how else to explain it. It just smells popular. As soon as you smell, it's like this is designed to be appealed to every single person that walks this earth. There's no way that it's not, and it's extremely easy to follow along with that. Where you're like, oh man, like it's just so easy, you know. And I tried the elixir. So I was actually at Randolph Air Force Base the other day, and they had the elixir there, right? I did this before. I sprayed 2 or 3 of the elixir on me. I had a headache for like half the day, I think. I mean, it was brutal. I didn't realize how strong it was. You know, and the stupid thing is I put it on my neck. I thought, oh, I'll just spray it on my neck. You know, I put it here, whatever, put it on my chest. And, you know, I didn't think anything of it. I thought, I'll be, but dude, by the time I got in the car, my head was killing me. My wife was like, what the fuck are you wearing? It's just too strong. It's so strong. She was like, dude, don't ever wear that again. And then the other day when I went over there with the elixir, I I sprayed it one time and I was like, and I told my wife, I was like, what do you think about this? She's like, wow, I really like that. So I'm like, so this one is like a, you know, it's like a 1 or 2 spray and that's it. Like, cause it even got me, but I do like it. But they're real proud of it. It's like $125. And then you start looking at like Mancera, Cedrat Boisé. Cedrat Boisé just dropped another one. I think it's an Eau de Parfum. I haven't tried that yet. I thought about buying it because it's really appealing. And I'm like, oh man. I also thought about buying the Terre de Hermes. I do like that scent a lot. Once again, but then see the thing is with that kind of stuff is I already have Grey Vetiver, I already have Bleu de Chanel. Why go out and buy those 2 fragrances when they do the exact same job as the ones I have right now and I don't need to replace them, if that makes any sense? Because in my head, it's like, am I going to use them or not? And more likely than not, I don't need it. So that's why I haven't gone out and purchased them yet. Yeah, let's see. Another brand I love and recommend is Parfums de Marly. Great. Yeah, Parfums de Marly is a great brand. Absolutely. Yes. Herod, that's wonderful. Carlisle, that's wonderful. Leighton, I honestly, Leighton is to me is just like it's just a fragrance. It doesn't do anything for me compared to the ones I just mentioned. But some people really like Leighton, and some people like Leighton Exclusive. I'm trying to think of another one. What is it? Sedley? I think it's Sedley, the lighter blue bottle. Because that was at Nordstrom when I was working at La Cantera. And I knew the lady that worked at because they had the blackjack scent, they had the blackjack. They have Parfums de Marly, and then they have a stand next there. And I would go over there and talk to them because I would ask them. We would try to go back and forth to help each other with sales and things of that nature. And we'd put like little gifts in different shops to get people to go into our stores that we were able to get a higher sell rate, people visiting our stores. I don't know if it ever worked. I think it did because we get people coming in saying, "Hey, they referred me to you guys," or you know, because we're kind of in the same kind of deal there. So let's see, Carlisle and Percival. Yeah, Percival. Okay, like the new one called Haltonate. I've never tried that. I never tried the Haltonate. I will say this: Arabian Oud. I was in Houston, and I walked because I was going to the Swatch because they just released the Speedmaster, the Swatch. They had the entire briefcase there open, of all the ones that were there, and I forgot to take a picture because I was in a rush. We were trying to go to my wife to go to the consulate, the Mexican consulate there, and I didn't have time to like sit there and take a picture. I wasn't thinking about it, but I went by Arabian Oud, and I'm like, oh man, like I would love to go in the store because that's getting a lot of hype right now. Arabian Oud and like the Silver Knight. There's a couple other ones I can't think of off the top of my head, but there's like two or three other ones that they have that are just like apparently really nice, really good smelling, and I believe that that company is out of Saudi. So yeah, I think that's another one that I'd really like to try a house. But like I said, when I was in Houston at the Galleria Mall, I just happened to walk by it and I didn't have time to go in because I had to go to an appointment, unfortunately. But yeah, that would have been something that I really would like to go visit and smell because that store does look beautiful from the outside into the in as well. Um, so you talk about Percival. What does Percival smell like? Does it? I don't think I've ever smelled that one. I think Sedley's the other one. I can't remember the name on top of my head, but I do believe it's Sedley. Then there's a green bottle they have. There's the like a mirror one they've had, like not really mirror. It's like chrome. I've smelled that one before as well. I like Harrod. I like Carlisle, both of those two. But Percival, I can't remember. Um, I can't remember if it's a summer scent or what. They have so many of them that are really great that it's really hard for me to remember that if that gives you any indication like what you're talking about. It's a great brand because you're like, hold on a second, which color of blue is that? Is it Leighton? Leighton exclusive? Sadly, because all of them are like blue, and you're trying to remember in your head what does it smell like, and then you have to remember what color the bottle is and what shade of blue it is. Let's see here. Percival is fresh and clean, similar to Chanel Platinum. Yeah, Platinum Egoist. That's just fantastic. The green one you mentioned is called Greenlee. Okay, I couldn't remember because it's been like 3 years, so I'm trying to go back into my memory from 3 years ago and off of a couple of conversations that I had. So that's why I'm trying to recall that kind of stuff on top of my head. I just remember what the sales representative was talking about at that time. So yeah, but okay, Greenlee. Okay, I haven't tried that one yet. Percival. Okay, so I'm going to try Percival because I am a huge fan, a ginormous fan of Chanel Platinum Egoist. It smells just wonderful. And Chanel Egoist, yeah, it's just awesome. I think that's a stupid fragrance as well. What I mean by that is like you could just go pick it, put it on. You don't got to worry about it. You're just like, I smell awesome. I don't have to think anything about it. I don't have to worry about stuff. And that's what I try to explain to my wife. Some fragrances, like, you can't just wear them all the time, because I do have a collection in here. I did a video on that in the collection. It's gone down a lot from what I originally had. Like, I just mass bought a whole bunch of stuff, and then I've been using it like over the last 4 or 5 years. If that gives you any indication of, of how much cologne that I have bought that I probably don't need. Um, and I think I'm down to like 6 bottles now. Me too, love it. Understated. I think I may prefer it to Blue de Chanel, but both are great. Yeah, they are. I mean, I honestly, Chanel just, it's just incredible. I don't know how else to say it. People kind of dog Chanel for a little bit, but whenever that's the best part about Chanel. Any fragrance that they put out, it's like they really thought about it. They do something, and they really think about what it is, the feedback, and it's always unique. It just smells like Chanel, and I don't know if there really is anywhere else that does that. In my opinion, that's my opinion. There may be that I don't know of, but in my opinion, it's like when you smell it, it's like, yeah, that's from Chanel. I don't know if that's because of the branding. I'm not sure, but in my head, that's what I'm thinking when I look at Chanel fragrances. It's like, or when you smell them, it's like, yeah, that's Chanel. Um, yeah, so that's basically all I think about that as far as where I'm going with that. Because Guerlain, sometimes you can get that kind of confused. I like Guerlain fragrances quite a bit. They're relatively inexpensive, and I think for what you get, they're pretty good as well. I think they're relatively inexpensive, but they are great, in my opinion. Like the vetiver, that one's really nice. It's relatively inexpensive. Um, I can't remember the cherry fragrance, the one that's pink and red. That one smells really good. The white one, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. Let's see here. Sorry to jump topic. Can I get your review on watches for the last 5? Oh, 1 second here. Let's see here. Oh no, it went away. 1 second. Let's see. Let's see. Sorry to jump topic. Can I get your 5.5 years? Last 5.5 years, I have had one Rolex. Oh, 1 second here. I'm gonna have to rotate my device. Give me 1 second here. Let me take it off my little stand I got here and rotate it upward so that way you guys can kind of see what I'm dealing with here. Hold on a second here. Let's see. I have had one Rolex, still white day. Now expecting our second kid, looking for a second Rolex. Okay, so the one that I just purchased here, I don't have it with me because I keep it safe. I only carry one at a time because unlike a lot of geniuses, they try to carry as much as they can, and I just think that's I think that's a terrible idea. That's just a horrible idea. Registered some ADs for a number of watches, a sub Explorer, but looking likely are very difficult to get those, but staying patient. Would you hold out? Honestly, man, every time I've gone into an AD that's a Rolex, they're just fucking assholes. I just can't. One thing I don't like is disrespectful. Like when I went in there, the lady at the time I was wearing an SKX, which I do like. You know, SKX is a nice watch. It really is. I think anyone that's like, hey, I don't know what watch I want to get. I'm not a watch person. You tell them, hey, go get an SKX. Let's see. Okay, just for available, just like a new. Exactly. Yes, you can just go get a Speedmaster. You know, like they basically copied a lot of the Rolex models and was just like, all right, cool, we're gonna do that. Honestly, the one that I got was the black and gold Explorer, which I did a review on. But matter of fact, I could do kind of a wristwatch check right now. Let's see here. So I am wearing a, oh, you can see that there. That is a 5035. Oh, hold on a second here. No, let's see. This is a 5035 annual calendar. It's a Patek annual calendar, first generation with a black dial. This is my favorite watch. I love this watch a lot. Honestly, I think for the money, you're trying to go second hand there for what you are looking for. You're looking at low 20s, right? So if you're looking at low 20s, high 30s, honestly, I think, thank you, sir. Let's see here, but the date just blew. Yeah, the 41 is very beautiful. The Explorer, absolutely. Yeah, the two-tone Explorer is just credible. I think Rolex has they do such a good job with the two-tone. They really do. And honestly, you know, you're talking about just going to Omega and buying stuff. And that's the best part about Omega. It's like, you know, hey, I could just go over there and buy this. I don't need to wait, you know, maybe get a phone call. When I went over here in San Antonio, she literally looked at my watch, didn't acknowledge I even existed. I had to talk to them, and she wrote my name down on a sticky note and was like, I'll give you a call when we get it in. And I'm like, she probably threw that shit in the trash, and that's been 2 years ago. So I bet you that lady doesn't even work for Rolex anymore. So I mean, that was about the extent of that. And the other experience I had is my friend had bought a Rolex from there. They told him, you need to buy a Rolex, and then you'll have the opportunity to buy another one. So what he did is he bought I think it was a Lady Datejust. It was a day, I don't remember exactly, but it was something, a woman's watch first for his wife, which he wanted to buy anyway. But they're like, and then you're like, well, you can have the opportunity to buy in GMT. Imagine that. So it was the black and black GMT when that was still around, that was still active. So he bought his wife a watch, and then like not even a month later, they're like, oh, we have a black on black GMT here for you. And I'm like, man, that's some bullshit. Like, he's like, it is, man. That's just bullshit. I don't know how else to say that. I said, that's ridiculous, man. They shouldn't treat people like that. I think that really turned him off to Rolex after that. I don't even like going to ADs and the Amigas. Amigas just coming out with really cool stuff, like the bronze gold stuff. I just think it looks really cool. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I think it looks really neat. The 41 Submariner, I think that's cool. I like the thinner lugs on the side. But the thing is, I did a video about the Submariner too, Reza, and honestly, that Submariner is like, I'm just not sure about it. You know, like, I'm just not sure about it. And honestly, if what you're looking for, you want to have like a statement, man, I'd be really hard pressed not to buy like Calatrava with a gold bracelet. Um, it would be really difficult because once I don't know if you've ever touched a Patek Philippe or looked at a Patek Philippe or anything of that nature, but then once you ever touch one or you see it, it's just like it's just beautiful. And you think in your head, I saw your video, great one. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I honestly think for the money you're looking for there, with the exception of the 41 there, the blue dial, unless you're trying to get it secondhand, then you're looking at 14, 15. You can get a gondola for that, but if that's not what you like, then that's fine. But like I remember the Neptunes were going for like really low, and now they're up in the 30s, the steel ones. And the steel Neptunes are actually really nice. Those are vintage, but the Pateks, and I just don't like moon phases, which is why I never bought one. But I remember when they were really inexpensive and they were dogs and no one wanted them. But now they're going higher and higher and higher. The 5035, what I'm wearing right now, the white dial, I think is 20 uh, 20 to 25 with box and papers, and a black dial, which is what I'm wearing, is I think now is going for 30 to 40 grand for the black dial. And I always say with that too is pay attention with, let's see, do you think a Patek Calatrava can be versatile? Uh, it can be, but they're delicate. They're just, you can wear it every day. Absolutely, you can. I do believe that. Would you get tired of wearing it every day? Probably. Um, that's why I think a two-tone Rolex would probably be better than actually one of those. These, it's not, it's like a special thing. You can't, I mean, I wear this pretty much every day, like when I'm working. I love looking down at it. It's one of my pride and joys. I just love it. My grandfather's now passed away, and there's a very picture that I love, and there's a picture of me, my grandfather, and my wife at his 80th birthday party, and I'm wearing this watch. And every time I look down at it, it reminds me of my grandfather. So that's another thing that's one of the reasons why it's my favorite watch. Um, and another thing too, like I said, is you're talking about you're going to have your second child. Is every time you look down at that watch, that's what's going to bring to your mind. So you're going to think about it, and you're going to think, man, I got this, I got this around my second kid. So honestly, I would go for the two-tone Explorer. Why? It's unique. Yeah, it's a beautiful memory. It is, man. It was a beautiful day, and I remember the party and everything, and yeah, it was just beautiful. Sorry, man, I get, I just miss my grandfather, but I did a video about that. But anyway, um, yeah, so I think you should get like this is my opinion, a two-tone Rolex would be perfectly fine. And I think the pre-date ceramics right now are kind of undervalued. I think they're like 10 or 15 grand, the vintage ones. Maybe you get a birthier one, get a birthier. I don't know how old you are, but I think, if you're not like, if you're like me, I'm a 94 model, so I'm 27, 20, yeah, I think I'm 27. Turned 20 this year. Sorry, I have public education, so give me a break here. That's something you could look into. I thought about that too before I bought my two-tone Explorer. I was looking at the because right now everyone's looking at like the 5513s, 1983. Oh man, mm, yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. That'd be really difficult because what is that? 5513, right? If I remember off the top of my head, is that the red text? Or is the one before that? I'm not very so quite. Yeah, yeah. It would be. They're real proud of them. Yeah, that's what I like to say. They're real proud of those, and as they should be. They should be. Sure. So 83. Okay, no, that's probably not going to work. Um, Honestly, I would get a two-tone Submariner or a two-tone Explorer. I'd rather get a new as more sturdy and don't have to worry about it. Yep, yep. Absolutely. Yeah. And you get the power reserve. So if you're rotating watches, which you've already talked about, I got this one, I got that one, and you're looking at it like, you know what? I can rotate and it will keep that power, which is really cool because what I've done is, um, let's see here. What I've done is I like have to have that Explorer because I can lay it down for like 2 or 3 days and I can pick it up and it's still going. Whereas like if I had a regular like a more earlier watch, you can't do that. They're going to stop, so you have to wind them, you have to set them again. Um, Yeah, and that's one thing I do like. People, I did get a question about this the other day on my Instagram. I had one of the, I don't know, was it you that asked me this about the they had asked me about what they thought about the gold. Is it too soft? Is it scratch? Is it delicate? What do you think? Do you think the two-tone explorer is a good idea or not? Was it you that asked me that on Instagram or was it someone else? I just want to make sure. Okay. Well, what I'm going to go ahead and give the answer then basically is, yeah, that was me. Okay. So I had a 116233. So that is a two-tone Jubilee bracelet Datejust with a pyramid dial. No, this is why I do live streams. I like interacting with my subscribers. This is why I do that. So I mean this is the first one I've ever had where I've actually had interaction and I like that. So thank you for asking me questions. I appreciate it. Um 116233. So that is a two-tone Datejust. I wore the hell out of that. And if you look at my wedding pictures, when me and my wife got married at the courthouse because we couldn't get married at a ceremony because it was during COVID, so we had to get an appointment at the courthouse. I just wore like a basic suit because we had to go in front of the judge and get married and get the papers. Um, I wore that Datejust, and I wore it all the time. Hello. Oh, cool. I have a really good friend of mine, a childhood friend of mine's from Bristol. I think that's south of United Kingdom, if I remember correctly. So, or south of London, excuse me, United Kingdom. Obviously, Bristol's in the United Kingdom. Um, so, yeah, 116233. I didn't find that soft at all. I found it really easy wearing, and that's a Jubilee. So that is more, in my opinion, that is more elegant than the Oyster. So what you're getting with the Explorer is you're getting the Oyster bracelet. So you have the gold, and honestly, with me wearing it, I wear it all the time. Like and I haven't had any issues with it scratching or anything of that nature. I haven't really noticed it or anything. Now, I will say this: a JLC, I had a Reverso for a while, and my God, when you're talking about scratching and delicacy, wow, I would wear that, and it would get scratches on it. I have no idea where I got it from. I mean, straight up, that Reverso, it just it attracted so many scratches to it. I don't know how. Like it was just like a scratch magnet, and I hated it for a while. I was like afraid to wear it, and then it just sat on my like watch box forever. And I was like, you know what, this has to go because if I'm not wearing it, it needs to go. So that's what I did. I just ended up selling it. I took like I think a couple $1,000 loss on it because it was really hard to offload, unfortunately, because I got a model that was not really, well, it was a GMT model. And first off, I live in Texas, so to go anywhere is not going to be very easy. And even when I go to Mexico, it's in the same time zone. So it made no sense for me to have one of those. I just like the way it looked. And yeah, but I would say two-tone Rolex, like I said before, perfectly fine. Not too soft, perfectly reasonable and real easy to wear. And you can wear it with, like you were saying, you wear casual stuff, right? You're talking about you had a platinum band. You don't like the Yachtmaster. Obviously, you're talking about the blue Jubilee. Have you looked at the blue Yachtmaster? The blue and red, like the blue with red hand Yachtmaster? Like that is and this is my opinion, that is a fucking beautiful watch. I'm not a fan of the Yachtmasters either, but once I saw the one with the blue dial and red hands, wow, that is a fucking beautiful. And this is my opinion. This is a Yachtmaster 1, not a Yachtmaster 2. Yachtmaster 2 for me looks like a giant monster. I think it's a disgrace. That's my opinion. But some people are like, I can get a chronograph from Rolex for like 20 grand. Yeah, that's nice. So that may be your answer there. Yeah, that may be your answer because you're looking at you got the platinum ring, or platinum, as far as the Rolex goes, and you have a Yachtmaster, and you can have bidirectional, so that's helpful. And then because the Submariner that I hated about the Submariner, smaller than a sub, so yeah, that could be like not really a compromise, but that's something that's an option that, and it would be relatively about the same as a two-tone Explorer as I have smaller wrists and we're smaller. Oh, okay. I have a 7 1/4 inch wrist, which I think is 180. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. 184 centimeters. 184. Sorry, we don't use millimeters, centimeters. We use inches. So 7.25 inches. I think that's 184 centimeters, but 185. Not exactly sure on that. So, but I just wanted to make sure. But yeah, that's an excellent choice. Absolutely. Wow. Um, yeah, that's just a fucking beautiful watch. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I have never seen one in person, but every video that I watch, I'm just like, wow, that's incredible. Um, and like you said, you had that, was it 3 millimeter platinum ring, so it would go well with it. You know, and you have to think about it. You could wear that whenever you want, whenever you want, and it's just beautiful. You know, and it's not a Submariner. I don't know how. I don't know. Have you ever owned a Submariner? Because owning a Submariner, you get like you people will stop you and ask you, and it gets kind of uncomfortable. You know, and people are like, "Oh, is that a Submariner?" And then they start asking you questions, and you're like, "I don't really want to talk to you. I'm sitting with my wife, having dinner with my wife. I'm, I'm trying to go somewhere. I'm trying to, like, I don't generally like that. It happened to me quite a lot when I had that Submariner, and I didn't like it. Whereas I feel like if you're wearing a Yachtmaster, unless they are someone like myself, where I look at it, I know exactly what it is, they may not know what it is. And that could be another benefit to that as well, which is why I love the Explorer so much. I had a 114270 that I wore all the time. I loved it. I had to sell for personal reasons. It's probably the most painful thing I've ever had to do. And it was my pride and joy. I love that watch, and no one knew what it was. The only time I ever got stopped was from another watch collector that I know, because he's like, "Wow, that's nice," and he he's the only one that has ever stopped me, and that was with an Explorer. Now with the Samaritan, like I said before, totally different story. And you get strangers and random people, and you're like, I don't know if this person's good. I don't know if this person's bad. I don't know if I want to stop because I don't know if they want to do anything to me. I have no idea. You know, you just have no idea. You know, and that's something that I didn't like about having a Submariner. And I know people were like, well, yeah, that's a gold two-tone Rolex Explorer. Most of the time, people are not going to think it's real. And second off, most people don't even know what Explorer is. Unless you're a Rolex person, you'll know what it is. But generally, no one knows what it is, and that's a good thing. But I have to steal my only watch. Which would you personally go for? Oh man, I'm an Explorer person, so I'm not the right one to ask about that. Um, Honestly, for me, I love the smaller dimensions of it. Um, The other one's a bigger watch. When I had see, that's why I don't like wearing. I know this is gonna sound crazy, but I don't like wearing big watches. Why? You can hit them on everything, which is what I had the thing with the JLC. The height of it, just the height of it, I would hit it on stuff, and I would hit it on doorways. I'd hit it on, like, the bigger the watch is, the easier it is to hit it, and that's really what that can make you cry. That can make you like be like, you start telling yourself, "Fuck!" Like I can't believe I just did that, and it really can. It make you go crazy, and make you cry. Um, the bigger the watch is, the easier to hit on stuff. The Explorer that I have, I don't think I hit it on anything. Even the one before that, I didn't have any issues with it. It's 36 millimeters. It's a classic size. It's real easy to wear. It's not too high. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles. You don't have to look down. That's another thing. You don't have to look down at it and see the bezels misaligned because you tapped it on something and the bezel go. It just drives me crazy. Maybe it's because I'm a perfectionist deep inside of my heart. I don't know. Where I'm looking at it and I'm like, fuck, it's offset. It's gonna, and that's the thing about the Submariner. I look down at it and it's off like just a little bit, and I'm like, fuck, I gotta turn it all the way back around and make sure it's straight. And then, like, I check it 3 or 4 hours later, same thing. I don't know what happens. I move it around and touch it or something, and it goes over a little bit. It's like, fuck, like it drives me crazy. And that's why I said about the Yachtmaster earlier. Remember, I said you have bi-directional, so you can go one way or the other. Yeah, that's the thing about that Explorer, or not the Explorer, the Submariner. I will look down at it, and it's misaligned, and I'm just like, I can't deal with that. And then I take it, and sometimes I'm like real meticulous, and then I go over it. I'm like, fuck, I gotta go all around again and make sure it's lined up correctly there. And with the Explorer, I don't have that problem. I just take it, put it on, and that's it. I don't gotta think about it. I don't gotta worry about it, and it's just much easier for me. And like I said, I had two sets of wedding rings, two sets of rings that I wear. So one of them is like a white color, which is like stainless steel, And then I have gold, which is obviously what you can see right now. I have gold, so that's another reason why I bought that. You know, you mentioned Omega too. Those bronze watches they're coming out with are just, I think they're really unique. I just do. Turn, do you think the nicest variant is a blue? Yeah, I do. The other variant that I am stupid and didn't buy it when I was younger was the two-tone mother of pearl dial Yachtmaster. I think it's a 35 millimeter, and there's some that came with ruby diamonds inside of them. Fuck is that's just ridiculous and beautiful. I mean, I've seen them only in pictures. They were a lot less expensive than they are now. For the price they're going for, I'd rather just buy a Patek. I wouldn't buy a Yachtmaster for that price. But there's a two-tone mother of pearl Yachtmaster. It's like a 35 millimeter, and some of them are 40 millimeter. Those they're real proud of those. The 40 millimeter ones, they're real proud of them. They're mother of pearl dial. So I think if I remember, some of them have rubies in them, and fuck are they beautiful! Wow. They really are. Um, but if it's not for that one, I think the blue one actually is my favorite because I'm biased. If you haven't noticed, my favorite color is actually blue and purple. So take this as you want, but I'm kind of biased. I like the blue dial. I think it's just beautiful. And honestly, I it would be it would be such a hard choice. If I had both of them sitting in front of me, it'd be like picking your favorite child. I don't have children yet, but you'd have to figure out, like, I don't know if I could do it. You know, like they both have their own attributes and their own things, and you're like, I don't know which one I want to go with here. So that's gonna be a really hard choice. Unfortunately, you know, as I would say. Um, but and the other one's vintage. So you were talking about. So what you were saying is I want a more modern watch. The other one is they don't make that watch anymore that I know of. So that's something you want to pay attention to. So what I just mentioned to you about the older Yachtmaster, is it is a vintage model, or it's getting up there where it's close to be vintage, if not damn near close to it. So you're dealing with an older watch, whereas if you buy the blue one with a platinum dial, that's a more newer technology, a more new watch. Um, yeah. So that's basically what I think about that. Hold on one second. Oh, I got a little more water left. Um, yeah, so something else you could buy. So you're looking at probably what, 20 grand, right? $20,000. So what is that? In American pesos, it's like $20,000. And then you're looking at, I don't know, if you're looking to get one from the AD, you're probably like 10 grand, right? So yeah, it would be about double that. Okay, so also what I don't like out of the sub is that the class. Yes, yes, it is. It is extremely ridiculous in my opinion. It really is. That's the thing I was going to mention to you about the deep sea, the fucking fat cheeseburger, the one that's like that big. It's ridiculous. But you're like, I got smaller wrists, so that would just look ridiculous on you. You were telling me I got a smaller wrist. That thing would just be ridiculous, and it's huge. So you already mentioned you don't like that, so that's why I didn't mention it to you, because that one is relatively inexpensive, but I think it's like 43, 44 millimeters. It's like 15 millimeters high, if not higher than that. I could be off by that by a lot, and because it just looks like a giant. To me, it looks like a giant cheeseburger. It's like huge. Um, yeah, the bottom of that class, man. The one that I had, I didn't like it. The one of the new one, I have looked at it because the one in my store here locally, they have them for display, so you can look at them. They have this, of course, it says display model only. So you see, look at all the watches sitting there, and they don't sell them. Won't look good to me. Uh, it could, but we've already discussed where we're talking about, hey man, like, yeah, the bigger size, don't care much for that. I have smaller size wrists, so it's gonna look ridiculous on there, and you're gonna attract attention to your wrists. So it's like all three of those three things. It's like, do I really want to do that? Um, yeah, I wouldn't, but that's my own personal opinion. Even though I did want to buy one originally because it was so cheap, I was like, oh man, it's really really cheap. But yeah, Daytona kind of size is the best for my wrist is a maximum. Yeah, the Daytona is just fucking beautiful, man. I don't know how else you can say it. I don't know how in the world people did not like them when they first came out, and that's one thing that I think is a good idea. And my argument in my video for my Explorer is What have we seen with the Explorer like the last 10 years? Every like 2 or 3 years, they change it, they change it, they change it, they change it. They go back and forth with it like this. They keep going back and forth. They don't know what the fuck they want to do with it, you know? They want to update the second one to put a ceramic bezel on it, the Explorer 2. I don't know why they don't put a ceramic bezel on it. To me, that's just like mind-boggling crazy. But the other one that I was talking about, that two-tone, if, for example, they make it for 2 or 3 years like they did when they originally made the 39 millimeter, no one liked the hands on that, and it's only for 2 years, what do you think is going to happen to that first? It's a first generation Rolex. If you ever had to sell it, anything you ever had to do with it, it's a first generation, first time ever Rolex had ever done that. Like for example, the 40 millimeter ceramic deep sea, you know, or sorry, the Sea Dweller, the 40 millimeter. They made it for like 3 or 4 years. That thing is coveted. I mean, they made it for very small, very limited amount of time. They don't make it no more, and people like jump on that like crazy. And it's a little more than the Submariner, but it's thicker, obviously, but they don't make it no more. And it was only around for like 2 or 3, 4 years, and it's a sports model. So that's more or less what I was thinking in my head is like the two-tone Explorer. It's a sports model. It's the first generation of that model, like the first ever they decided to do that. I have one of the first ones, so that was my thought process, and that's kind of a theme I'm noticing because the watch I'm wearing right now, it's a first generation, first annual complication that Patek ever made, and I'm thinking, and it's a black dial, so I'm like, I got a black dial, and then I just have a Speedmaster because I love the Speedmasters. So that makes it real easy. Hello, whoever just joined. All right, well, I guess they decided to sneak out the back door there. Well, all right, Reza. Well, it was nice chatting with you. Thank you for reaching out to me on Instagram as well, because I mentioned this earlier in the live stream about I'm going to try to redo the channel trailer. Maybe not today because I'm kind of running late here because it's almost 6 and I got to go do stuff. So, but yeah, I'm going to be doing that where I talk about please reach out to me on Instagram. It's much easier for me. I can reach out to you. I can answer you much quicker than I can on YouTube because sometimes YouTube does not put the comments where I can see them. They take it says I have a comment, but I don't have one. It comes up hours later, deletes it. I can't ever see it. It annoys the hell out of me. Cheers, mate. Appreciate all your kind help. Yeah, no problem. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for supporting me. Like, that's why I do this stuff. I do this for fun. So it's something that I do like enjoying, do like doing, and I enjoy it. So yeah, thanks for reaching out to me on Instagram. So that's probably where I'm going to go with this. It's almost midnight here, so getting late too. Hey, it's almost 6 o'clock in the afternoon here. So I got off work and figured I'd come in here and sit down. So and jump on live here, which I do sometimes on Wednesdays. So yeah, but anyway, thank you guys for coming along, and I'll see you guys soon, and y'all have a good day. And have a good night, Reza. Thank you for chatting with me. I appreciate it.